So for Kesa Gatame, it's more of a conventional jiu-jitsu position, judo position, right? You do see sometimes people in jiu-jitsu will use it, you know, they'll more typically do things like grab their own leg. Sometimes they'll start attacking this arm or they'll be, you know, over here and pushing, doing these kind of things. But I would say more commonly, and by the way, Sensei is really strong at Kesa Gatame. So if you want to like the little nuances of how to drive your weight and everything, I would say ask Steve to go over it. For me, I like Kuzure Kesa Gatame. I like to be here. This is one of the strongest positions I find for more like a longer version of Newaza, where you're fighting on the ground longer. So you can attack and you can totally change your side control position. The part of the downside of Kesa Gatame is if I'm here, even if I'm really strong at holding it, and I can drive them and everything, it's hard for me to go back to other positions, right? Like it's hard for me to turn and go to a standard side control. Because if I go this way too much, he's actually beating me in the position. But if I have Kuzure Kesa Gatame and I'm here, I can at any point in time, I can actually go over and I can start attacking this way, or I can lift up and switch to more standard kind of side control. I can go more down to the hip. It really gives me a lot of options. So I would say depending on how you get there and what you're doing, but especially if you're a shorter player and you do throws from your arm already being in an underhook, like you like to do ogoshi from there, it makes sense to me to do this. For kind of like bigger people that do, you know, koshi-garuma more, like, and you're actually gonna land like this, it makes sense to me. And, you know, John has much more knowledge about judo strategy, so ask him, but to me that kind of seems logical.
I still think as a go-to, the Kuzura is a better, safer choice.
Safer, less
safer
risk,
choice, more options, right?
Yeah.
And a pin counts as soon as they start counting it. Even if you transition to other things, it continues. Right? And you're absolutely right. You are locked in when you're in Kesa. Even the Kura like you were using there. It's very hard to get your arm around to turn your chest to the hips. I agree.
Yeah, so if you're going from here, and you're not sure exactly how to attack from here, one really good thing you can do is nice and safe. You can lift the arm up high, and then actually start to bring your hips down. And both of your knees are touching them, and then your arm is going to swim under the head, and now you have this underhook still, and this one under the head, and you can hold here. And it's a really strong holding position. One of the hardest positions for even high-level jiu-jitsu people to reverse each other here. And if you, for some reason, don't like this underhook, like they're really strong and they're pushing you away here, you can grab the hip instead, and you can start moving your head out of the way and getting really heavy and leaning forward. So you have a position where you can adjust as you need to. That's one reason I really like Kuzure Gatame.
The real weakness from a judo perspective between the two is the head control that you just showed. Right? Once you get that arm underneath in that loonie position, the head under the arm, they've taken away. Their only advantage here is they can use their head. Right? And if they're really strong, some of the guys are really strong and they can use that as another limb to pivot on. But if you're heavy, they're not going to get that.
So when you lift up here and you're pulling here, they might be pushing you with this other arm. Let's say you're trying to push away. That can be kind of annoying. But if I'm getting pushed too much this way, I can also push this arm out of the way at the same time. So if I lift both of his arms and I start doing this, he's in a very bad position. He's close to these attacks if he stays with that, and if he doesn't and he brings it back in and he's being more conservative, I can always go down to the hip. So I want to really make sure that when you get that top position, you get to your guard pass or Sakomi, it's going to be something you keep. You don't have to keep trying to pass the guard again. In jiu-jitsu and like advanced Newaza, the passing the guard is one of the hardest things in all of grappling because they have so many options. But you'll notice too when we do knee cuts, which is very common, we use an underhook, right? So if we go like this and you go from here, we always say when you hop over and you go this way, if you can get this punch through, you always want to take it. Then when you pass, you're already in this position. So that's another reason we use this one so much compared to Kesa Gatame. It's a bit riskier to go to Kesa Gatame, especially if people are expecting it and you're passing and you go to dive here and he bumps me up, you can use your knee. There you go. This is quite a reversal.
And that scores, right?
And I mean, we're exposing our back to all sorts of risky things that can hold you back. So we'll try just play with the position. I would say for the one attack, I'd like you guys to try. Like I want you to feel both positions. So start from here. And the bottom person, just move around at like 20%. Don't actually fall and try and escape. And just try and hold a little bit as a top player. Make sure you're keeping this elbow and you're getting a little bit of energy. Trying to work, yeah, they're moving this. If they start to move this and you feel like I'm losing control, focus on lifting and try and switch both your knees down and collect their head and see what that feels like, okay? So that's what we're gonna do as far as the movement goes. When you're here, if you wanna try a different attack and you wanna step over, really heavy from here, you can lean towards your head and you're gonna step right over the head, lift, and try and lock your legs in a triangle this way. Okay, and you can hold here. It's a very strong position. Hard for him to sweep too because I'm just holding him and I'm posted on the ground, so it's very hard for him to move. And he's of course in a lot of danger with this side too. So you can grab this, you can start attacking. So.
And it still looks like coming.
Yeah, still holding. It's still in the dominant position. Fox running, girls are going.